All right, welcome back. Prop 5, Thursday Night Football. I'm joined again by Caesar. The other day, we made you some money, as we always try to do, but we definitely did the other day when we were together on Monday. Was it Tuesday? Monday. Monday Night Football, obviously. So we're going to try to do it again. Tonight we have San Francisco 49ers against the Seattle Seahawks. You can get all your action on Prize Picks. Use the code 5. Get yourself $50 when you place a $5 lineup. Great promo by Prize Picks. And it's going to be a competitive game. Like a lot of times we were talking beforehand, like Thursday Night Football is not necessarily always the most entertaining, like exciting matchup that you're looking forward to on that short week. But I think this is a really good matchup. It's a 3.5-point line right now, two division rivals. So Caesar, I'll let you tee us off. What are you thinking here for the prop side?
Well, look, man, I want to start by saying the pressure is on between 5 picks, 5 reasons on Sunday, and our stream on Monday. I've hit 8 straight props on Prize Picks. Obviously, 2 winning slips. I'm trying to do the same here, but I got to tell you, man, I'm looking at the props here, and this one's a tough one. So what I want to do is I'm going to tell you what I have, and then I want to talk it out with you so we can land on 2.
I like that.
On 2 good props. Right now, there's a promo. I know Tony shared it. Tony Schwartz shared it. Jordan Mason, rush and receiving yards combined. Right now, there's a promo for 79.5 yards, down from 97.5. So we're obviously going to start there. But I want to ask you, where do you see this game going? Do you think it's going to be high scoring, low scoring? Because that's going to affect what I have here, the props that I like.
I have bet the under at 49.5, I believe is what I got it at. And I'm looking, it's at 49. So, okay. Which is a high number for a Thursday Night Football game.
I agree.
I think it's going to be under. The reason that I am, if I was going to be hesitant about it, it is right now the Seattle Seahawks defense is banged up. They have had problems defending. Obviously, last week they played against the Giants. The Giants had no Malik Neighbors. Tyrone Tracy gashed them, which goes into our discussion about Jordan Mason here in a second. They gave up 65 receptions to Wan'Dale Robinson. The week before, they played the Lions, up and down, shootout. Their defense isn't good right now. I think the defense is good, but they're beat up. And you're on a short week, and you're playing the 49ers, who are now healthy. In terms of the Jordan Mason deal, I'm looking right now. His rushing yards is at 78.5. That's his prop. And so you can get rushing and receiving at
79.5.
So if we're just talking value,
we're taking that
for sure.
So I like that you're saying under. I'm looking at all the props. Everything I have lined up here is an under. So I'm going to just give them to you, and you tell me which one you like, because I'm undecided here, all right? I'm starting with Brandon Ayuk under. His line is 67.5 on Prize Picks, but his elsewhere is lower. This is the highest line on all the books right now. It's 64 and 62 in other sports books. So I'm leaning under just because of the value right there. I also have a lot of these bets are based on how do you think the game is going to go, right? We're already established we like the under. I don't know do you have the Niners going up ahead? Because I think the Seahawks were looking ahead to this week when they struggled last week against the Giants. And I think they're going to try to run the ball a little more. There's a correlation when they're winning and they're running the ball, and when they're losing, they're just passing. Like last 2 weeks when they were losing, their run game was down.
Yeah.
I think they're going to try to establish the run. There's a prop here. Again, we talk about low-hanging fruit like Juju last week. Zach Charbonnet, 3.5 rush attempts. I like the over there. What do you think?
I do like that also. And Kenneth Walker, obviously, is coming back from an injury. So while he looked good last week, he's a monster. But I think that you give Charbonnet carries because he's also a very good back too.
And also a short week for somebody coming off an injury.
For sure. I do like that rushing attempts, 3.5, that's low. And it's not, I don't feel like that is extremely game script dependent. Like if Seattle got down early, you can't just abandon the run and throw the ball all over the place. San Francisco is going to get after you. And 3.5 is a low number. The only thing that stood out to me, I saw a Debo prop, and I thought over 53.5. I know we talked about the under in the game. There's going to be yards. Like Purdy plays well against the Seahawks. His defense is banged up. I think they're going to move the ball, but I think that there's going to be we could look at kicking props, but I think there's going to be a lot of drives that stall out, whether they result in punts, but are result in field goals. And so that's what's going to keep that game under. 53.5 was the total for Samuel. What was the Ayuk? 60. It was higher, right?
Ayuk was 67. Yeah.
That's a lot of yards for Ayuk.
I'm just saying all the books are in agreement in the 62 to 64 range.
Yeah.
They basically had the odds as a pick 'em at 64, but at 67, I'm taking the under. I don't know about any dude. I'm just trying to stay away from like offensive props on the Niners just because it's a short week and they're on the road. Do you agree with that strategy, or you still like?
I'm just looking around. Like Kittle is at 47.5. Juwan Jennings is at 29.5. I definitely don't like the Ayuk because it's such a big number. Yeah.
I'm taking the under on Ayuk for sure.
Yeah, somebody's going to get yardage. He spreads the ball around, but someone's going to go over. I would say if we took those 4, I would say at least 2 go under, if not 3 of them go under. One guy pops, and that's where we're going to get yardage. I would say Ayuk under. I'll go Debo over, and hit or miss. Kittle is such a weird guy right now in this stage of his career. Sometimes he dominates, sometimes he's non-existent. I
got one more for you.
All right.
Geno Smith under 34.5 passing attempts.
Okay.
This is very game script dependent, right? If they're down, he's obviously going to go over. Last 2 weeks, He's gone over. I think he had 40 last week. They were down all game. Versus the Lions, it was a shootout. He went over. The games that they've won, he's gone under. And I kind of like the Seahawks in this game, so I'm leaning under 34.5. What do you think of that?
34.5. So last week, he threw how many? Because I know I watched this game. I
40.
had Seattle and Survivor. They did not run the ball last week. It was ridiculous. Like, that is what kept the Giants in the game. I think you have to be more balanced. You have to know coming in that I have to give the ball to Walker. I have to give the ball to Charbonnet. It kind of connects the two. If you're going to pair them up on Prize Picks, the Charbonnet over and the Geno under might be a good way to go.
Exactly.
Together, because if you get Charbonnet running the ball more than 4 times, probably not getting, every time he runs the ball is not a pass attempt. So I like the idea behind that one because I think it's going to be competitive. I think Seattle is better than they've shown, especially last week. San Francisco, you could say, has struggled. They're better than the record shows. They've given up these leads, which is incredible because they're a well-coached team. They're an experienced team. I think it's going to be a grind them out type of game tonight. So I would say I like the balance, so I like the under on Geno.
Cool. It's settled then. Those are my picks. Ayuk under 67.5, Geno under 34.5 passing attempts, and Zach Charbonnet over 3.5 rush attempts.
The only one I have was Debo that I mentioned. There is one that I don't know is on Prize Picks. If you can look at it, I saw a lot of buzz, and I'm looking at people that I follow on Twitter and things like that. A lot of people buzzing up Juwan Jennings over a half a rushing yard. I don't know if it's on Prize Picks or not, but I've been liking these kind of. It's one of those it's a high flyer type of thing. It would be like one of the Goblin. No,
it's not. It's not there.
Guys, you get one carry. CeeDee Lamb is a guy that you can keep an eye on. He gets a lot of carries because the Cowboys can't run the ball with their running backs.
Right.
You get a positive yardage and win that prop. So, all right. Well, too bad on that one. Check us out. We'll be tweeting out our plays. We'll have more content coming over the weekend. Major Money on Friday. We'll have other shows over Saturday and Sunday. Make sure you're following Big Picks Energy. Like he said, 8 in a row on fire. And on Monday, we swept the card. So make sure you get in our picks and make sure you're making money on Prize Picks. Thanks, guys.